Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Reddit Escalating Stories. Today's first post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Trashbox account. And it says, My 17 female brother-in-law, 25 male, flirts with me, and it's gone way too far. Like the title says, my brother-in-law flirts with me a lot. And at first I was able to ignore it, but tonight he took it too far. He started the flirting a few months after he and my sister got married in March. It started lightly, like teasing, but as time has gone on, it's gotten heavier, like playing with my hair and being more forward with compliments. He'd say things like, hey, beautiful, or hey, gorgeous, and you're going to make some guy really happy one day. I was able to ignore this stuff, and I never reciprocated or said anything, and I know that I should have, and now I regret it. Then about a month ago, he and my sister had to move in with us, my parents and I, and he took it way too far. He started making extremely inappropriate jokes and comments toward me, and he started hugging me and lingering way too long. I always pushed him off and told him to knock it off and never hugged back. Then earlier tonight, he came into my room and laid in my bed and tried to cuddle me. I pushed him off and forced him out of my room, and he said he was just playing around, but it didn't feel like he was just playing. And if he was, then it was way over the line. I haven't told anyone yet because I don't know who to tell. If I tell my parents, then they're going to flip their lids and go insane and go above and beyond what's actual necessary. If I tell my sister, I'm sure she's going to be really hurt and be mad at me, or they'll get into a huge fight or something, and everything will blow up, and I'd feel terrible because she really loves him. And I don't want to ruin a marriage. I just don't know what to do without all of this being one big, huge mess. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Opie, stop right there. You are absolutely not ruining a marriage. He is. Listen to me. This isn't flirting. You are 17. He is 25. He is a grown man moving into your parents' house and climbing into your bed. That is predatory behavior. You said you were worried your parents would flip their lids? Opie, they should flip their lids. This guy is dangerous. He is testing your boundaries to see how much he can get away with. You need to tell them immediately before this escalates any further. Do not protect this man. The community is terrified for you, Opie. User Jingle Moon says, tell your parents, tell your sister, tell somebody please. This guy is escalating his creepy molesty behavior, and he has easy access to you at any time. He could be dangerous. Please tell someone before this goes any further. If it blows up into a big fight, it should because he is completely out of line and inappropriate. I'm scared for you right now. Please tell someone what's going on. And user Potent Portent Porter agrees, saying, I would say tell your parents and your sister. Sit them all down. Your sister should have set boundaries already, so she let you down because of her poor judgment. Your parents may overreact, but what is overreacting? Kicking him out? He deserves that. If your sister chooses to go with him, that's her choice. However, you should be able to feel safe, comfortable in your own home. Don't hesitate to tell your parents. And finally, user Cutteringso adds, you should tell your sister first. She deserves to know. Even if their marriage is ruined, it's not your fault. Put yourself in your sister's shoes. Wouldn't you want to know if this was happening to your older or younger sister? If your brother-in-law is okay with this type of inappropriate flirting with you, chances are the marriage would have issues anyway because he'd be flirting with other girls. Now, Opie did come back with an update, and honestly, it gets scary before it gets better. After the incident last night, I didn't sleep very well, and early this morning, when I thought my brother-in-law, would be at work, I decided to leave my house for a little while until I knew for sure that my parents would be back home. As soon as I opened my door, my brother-in-law forced his way in and pretty much cornered and open-endedly threatened me. He told me that if I said anything, no one would believe me, which made it 10 times harder to say anything. I left my house until I knew at least one of my parents would be back, specifically my mom. When I went home, the first thing I did was tell her, and she confronted him about it. He did what a lot of people who commented yesterday said he would do. He tried to blame me for coming onto him and flirting back. He claimed that he was just playing around. But luckily, my mom believed me, and they got into a huge argument. My sister walked in on the argument, and I told her what happened, and then she got mad at me, and we began arguing. By that time, my dad had gotten home and got involved, and was ready to literally kill my brother-in-law. So there was a huge argument going on between the five of us. Then, my sister slapped me. She called me several names, various types of sluts and whores, and my parents kicked the both of them out. They left together to go who knows where. I'm sorry it's so poorly put together. I just wanted it to be quick and to the point, and I'm also on mobile, so please forgive any grammatical errors. Thanks to those who commented last night. It helped to give me the courage to say something, even though it was hard. Wow. Just wow. Opie, I am so glad your parents stood up for you. Your dad is a hero for stepping in like that. But your sister? Slapping you and calling you names after her husband cornered you? That is absolutely unforgivable. She showed her true colors. You are safe now, and that's what matters. And speaking of people crossing boundaries in your own home, let's move on to our second story. This one comes from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user Mona Lisa Saperstein. And it says, I think my 22 male girlfriend, 20 female, might be cheating on me with my roommate. My girlfriend and I have been together since high school. We go to the same college, and she basically lives with me. We live in a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 other guys. My roommates and I hang out a lot with my girlfriend, but she gets along especially well with one. We'll call him Chet. Chet is really close with my girlfriend. When I go to sleep, I go to bed really early. She goes and hangs out in his room. When I ask her about it, she tells me what good friends they are and goes into detail about how she just could never even imagine his lips touching hers, that it makes her sick to think about. Part of me believes her, but part of me wonders why she goes into such detail about how repulsed she is by this idea. Recently, they got into a fight because his girlfriend doesn't like my girlfriend. This fight ended in him buying her favorite snacks and leaving them on our bed. This seems way too intimate to be just a friendship to me, but I'm afraid to flat out ask her if they're sleeping together. I don't want to ruin our relationship over them just having a nice friendship. I don't know what to do. Okay, Opie, I'm going to stop you right there. That line about it makes her sick to think about? That is a classic red flag. It's called protesting too much. If they were just friends, she wouldn't need to vividly describe how gross it would be to kiss him. She's trying to throw you off the scent and hanging out in his room while you sleep. That's not friendship, that's a date. The comments definitely agree that something fishy is going on, and here is what they have to say. User Seth W95 points out, if both you and his girlfriend have an issue with it, I think there might be something to your suspicion, OP, and user Fappet69 asks the real question. I think it's interesting that his girlfriend doesn't like your girlfriend. Does she have a reason for this, or does she suspect the same thing that you suspect? And user Samsonite agrees to that and also offers a small advice. Yeah, I think perhaps OP should confront her about this to know if they have the same feeling. User The Mockingbird also says, pretend to go to bed and stay up instead and wait a few hours. Catching them in the act will certainly clear things up. Confronting her will probably make her and him stop or be more cautious, assuming she is cheating in this scenario. And lastly, user Rook88875 says, 8 dude, here's your game plan. Go to bed, say you aren't feeling well. She will go in his room. You enter after a bit if it's clear and they are just chilling. Go in and say that you're feeling sick and need help, so they don't think you were trying to catch them. If they are doing something, you caught them, and then, the main thing you want to do is just limit the negatives out of this. If they aren't doing anything and they see you go into the room, it shows the distrust, and that will impact your relationship. So having a solid reason why to go in there covers you? Well, Opie decided to test the waters, and the results were explosive. Here is the update to the main post just 2 days later. Thanks for all the comments and encouragement. No, I did not set up a spy cam or try to walk in on them. I chickened out, I think, because I deep down didn't want to catch them in the act. Turns out I didn't need to. I stayed quiet about it, which wasn't too hard because I was really busy with school this week anyway. Until last night. My girlfriend told me we should throw a party at our apartment. I didn't really want to, but figured why the heck not? I could stand to get pretty drunk anyway. So last night we invited a ton of people over, which is not out of the ordinary for us. And my girlfriend invited her best friend. It started out as just a normal party, until Chet got raging drunk and announced to everyone that he had just broken up with his girlfriend of 3 years. So I did something sort of manipulative that I'm not totally proud of. I told my girlfriend's best friend, I'll call her Kim, that she should hook up with Chet. We had all been drinking a lot, and I sort of suspected she was down for Chet anyway, and she agreed enthusiastically. Cut to Chet sitting on our couch with Kim quite literally on top of him, making out. I pointed this out to my girlfriend, telling her it would be so great if our best friends dated each other. My girlfriend lost it. Like, completely lost it. She started screaming and pushing Kim off of Chet, telling her she couldn't believe both of them would do that. She ended up stopping the whole party because she made such a scene, and I just stood there and watched. When she finally snapped out of it and realized everyone was staring at her, I thanked her for confirming what I already knew and told her to get the F out of my house. That was last night. I'm still sort of in shock it went down like that. I went to bed right after and haven't talked to anyone about it yet this morning. I don't really know how I can look Chet in the face after this, so I haven't left my room yet. But it didn't end there. Basically, after I kicked her out of our party, I assumed we would all lay low for a few days. I was wrong. The day after the party, Chet knocked on my door and tried to talk, but I ignored him. Less than an hour later, the ex-girlfriend sends me a long text, at first apologizing, then explaining that her sleeping with Chet couldn't have been avoided because while I was a good boyfriend, I study and sleep too much. Okay, she then told me she would be willing to work through this if I was willing to try to be better and pay more attention to her. I didn't respond to the text. That night, I had a dinner with my parents I couldn't miss, that the ex knew about. I came home to find all of her stuff taken out of my room. I figured she moved her stuff back to her dorm. Wrong. I noticed later when Chet's door was open, she had actually moved her stuff into his room. I haven't seen either of them. I think they've been out of the apartment to avoid me. I don't even know how to feel. Honestly, the breakup is so raw, even though we haven't even really had the chance to break up. And I'm so angry at both of them, but strangely miss them at the same time. The audacity. She cheats on you, gets caught, and then says it's your fault because you study too much? Opie, you dodged a massive bullet. And moving straight into Chet's room? Trash took itself out. All right, that story raised my blood pressure, so we definitely need a cleanse. Let's finish this video with a mood booster from our MaliciousCompliance. This one is by user PyreForge. Boss said I must use my vacation before month end, but also no one can take time off. So I read the policy. Company sends a shiny HR email. Subject line all caps. Use it or lose it. We had to burn our remaining PTO by the 30th, or it evaporates into the sun. Same day, my manager announces in stand-up that due to quarter end, no one can take time off until the 1st. I asked how to reconcile that. He shrugs and says, talk to HR. HR says, talk to your manager. Cute loop. So I open the handbook, because I am a petty librarian when annoyed. Page 14 has this little sentence I never noticed. PTO requests not explicitly denied in writing within 48 business hours are considered approved. There is also a note that partial day PTO is allowed in 1-hour blocks. Thank you, legal team. I submitted 10 separate requests. 2 hours every morning next week, 2 hours every afternoon the week after, a random Friday 3 to 5 to watch a plumber, and 1 full day to visit my mom. I sent the requests in our HR portal, which auto-emails the manager and CCs a shared mailbox nobody watches. Then I went back to my tasks and set reminders. 48 business hours pass. No denial. The portal changes each request to approved. Green check mark, confetti gif. Monday comes and at 9:58 I put a cheerful note in the team chat. Heading out? See you at noon. Manager pings me to hop on a client call. I reply with a screenshot of the policy and the portal approval. Silence. Then three dots typing, then nothing. By Wednesday, our calendar looked like cheese. Half the team remembered they also had PTO sitting around and started filing it in little blocks. Meetings kept colliding with green bars. Finance realized that if we did not use the days now, they would be paid out at separation later, which they hate. HR wrote a new post saying we should coordinate, but that approvals already granted stand. My manager called a huddle to ask why productivity dipped. I said we are following HR's instruction to use PTO. He said he meant in November. I sent him the original email timestamped this month. He sighed and said he never thought anyone would actually read the handbook. I used every hour, took my mom to lunch, and my plumber fixed the cursed sink at 3:40 while I drank tea. Next week, a new policy appeared. PTO must be requested in full-day increments during quarter end, and managers must respond in 24 hours. Thanks for clarifying, truly. I love it. This is exactly what happens when managers try to play games with your time. He tried to trap you in a loop, so you trapped him in the handbook. And the fact that the whole team joined in, that is just the cherry on top. Never mess with a petty librarian who reads the fine print. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. If you've gotten to this point, you might as well hit that subscribe button and join the community. And if you want another story where a bad boss gets exactly what's coming to them, check out the video on your screen right now. See you in the next one.